And welcome everybody, it's Tuesday, it's me GhostCritic, and Tuesdays are the Ultimate Graphic Novel Collection reviews. A welcome return to them. I will say from the kick-off, with these videos, they are going to be kind of spoilerish. Most of the stories in these kind of hardback trades have been out for ages, and I would expect most people who are interested in that particular character or team will have already read these. So if you haven't, be prepared, there will be spoilers of sorts throughout these videos. Okay, quickly, I just watched this video back before I was about to upload it, and I realised that I have actually spoilt the crap out of this book. So if you haven't read Guardian Devil yet, and you want to, and you don't want it spoilt for you, please don't watch any more of this video. I would hate to spoil it for you, because I reveal everything. So what have I got for you this week? Well, you've already seen from the title. It is Daredevil, the Guardian Devil 8-issue story arc. This comes from Daredevil Volume 2. It started its life on the Marvel Knights imprint. I can't believe this story is 15 years old already. Marvel Knights was, I guess you could say, it was a slightly grittier version of the normal Marvel 616 universe. It wasn't as explicit as the Max series that Marvel had going, but it dealt with heavier topics that the regular, more family-friendly Marvel 616 universe couldn't really address. Obviously, these days now, with the Marvel Universe being a lot darker, they have no problem on their normal 616 universe addressing issues such as a lot of the things that kind of go on in here. So, it was a different time. Book written by Kevin Smith of directorial fame, Clerks, Chase and Amy, Dogma, and the artwork was by Joe Quesada. The story mainly stays about Matt having this child given to him to look after, who may or may not be either the new Messiah or the Antichrist. And it deals quite heavily with Matt's Catholic faith, which has always been addressed in some way or other throughout Daredevil's history. But this is not the only kind of storyline that's going on here. There is so much packed into these 8 issues. We have Karen Page and her diagnosis of the AIDS virus. Foggy gets accused of murder. Matt quits the lawyer agency firm that Foggy's mum runs, and we also get the introduction of Matt's mother, Maggie, who joined a nunnery after she left her husband and her son Matt. She gets introduced into the story as well, and there are a slew of kind of special guests: Black Widow, Doctor Strange, Mephisto's there, Bullseye makes another kind of deadly appearance, as he always does, to mess up Matt and Daredevil's life. The whole thing is wrapped up, and the reason everything that is happening to Matt and Daredevil comes much later on in the book. We find that all the stuff that's happening to him is due to the fact that Mysterio has concocted this whole huge scheme. He's been diagnosed, I think it was with lung cancer and a brain tumour, and he wanted to go out in a big bang with one of his greatest foes. Now, Mysterio is usually connected with Spider-Man, but I think probably Spider-Man defeated him, so he decided, and Spider-Man kind of threw him off as like a second-rate villain. So Mysterio's idea was, right, okay, if I'm a second-rate villain, then I will make my kind of denouement against a second-rate hero, which is kind of a bit of a slur on Daredevil, but there we go. The kind of kick in the gut in this is regarding Karen Page and her the diagnosis of her having AIDS. The doctor that gave her this diagnosis was, of course, Mysterio, and there is just this kind of hanging in the air whether or not after her death she really did have the AIDS virus, because he just says, maybe, what was it? Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. You think at least she'd get a second diagnosis. So that just cuts Daredevil up so much. But instead of kind of like pounding on Mysterio, he plays him mentally and verbally, showing Mysterio that, you know, you're not even a second-rate villain. You're a copycat. You have no original ideas. Everything you do, someone else has already done before you, and it just destroys Mysterio, and he ends up killing himself in a kind of Craven-esque style. There's a kind of poignant ending with a conversation after Karen Page's funeral between Daredevil and Spider-Man, where Spider-Man basically says, yes, you've just been put through the ringer for the last, you know, few days, but some great stuff has come out of it. Not least, you have had your faith renewed. And then it basically ends with Foggy and Matt reopening their own practice. Really enjoyed this start of the Daredevil Marvel Knights run. Only recently, I have read this before, I did pick it up all in singles, having only just finished completing my whole run of volume 2 of Daredevil. But Quesada's art is great. He draws an excellent Daredevil. It's full of energy, it's full of kind of kinetic energy, and it just flows. It's all muscles. I just really like Quesada's artwork on this book. In the back, as always, there are some extra fun bits. We have a 2-page article about Kevin Smith as the writer, 2 pages about Joe Quesada the artist. We have an art gallery of the variant covers that came on this title. Kind of rogues gallery of Daredevil's enemies and villains. And then, as always, there's the further reading to spend some more money on. And you've got stuff like Elektra, Assassin, Daredevil Father, Spider-Man and the Black Cat for some reason. I think it's to do with the style and the art of this book. You'll like this book. So there we go, Daredevil, Guardian Devil, issues 1 to 8. A great read, and if you haven't, and you know, I haven't spoiled it, well I have, I've spoiled it all for you, but it's definitely worth reading, picking up some other parts of the plot lines that, you know, I've missed, just to make this a nice short video, just to kind of an overview of what happens. And there we go.